going on, New York Giant fans? Welcome back to another video. If you guys haven't already, hit that like button, comment, and subscribe. Turn on post notifications so you know when the live stream pops or drops. We are 2 subscribers away from 300, so please help us reach that milestone. We give you guys some good content and engagement. You guys obviously give us the support, so it's a beneficial relationship, and you guys get to be a part of the community. Very special one and a growing one at that. So in this video, I'm going to talk about some roster moves that the New York Giants have made, but the main headline is that Jabrill Peppers tore his ACL last Sunday against the Carolina Panthers in the third quarter and is out for the rest of the season. I'm going to talk about his statistics, his impact on the defense this year, and then a little bit into what might happen with him after the season because he is on a contract year, and we'll see what happens. As I said, the Giants made some other moves, and that corresponds to a trade they made in August, which now it really isn't a good one. So we'll talk about it. But let's get into the first subject. Obviously, Jabrill Peppers was put on IR with the torn ACL. He is not the first New York Giants player to tear an ACL this year. Darius Williams did, I believe, against the Cowboys, or it was the Saints, one of those two teams. He tore his ACL against and out for the season. He did play a larger role within the weeks. Week 1 he got some snaps, 2, 3, 4. It increased week by week, and it was surprising to me because the Giants had Darnay Holmes, who was their 4th round pick from last year, and even in terms of playing time comparisons, Matt Parrott, their 3rd round pick, right tackle from UConn last year, didn't even see the field as much as Darius Williams did. So that was kind of strange to me. Obviously, the situation is very different now with the secondary depth being really smaller than what we have envisioned. And with Andrew Thomas being out, Solder and Matt Parrott being the starting tackles. I did not like how the New York Giants used Jabrill Peppers this year. A lot of in-coverage stuff, a lot of things that he has shown, I would say routinely, that he struggled on. He can't cover Cooper Kupp in the slot. He can't cover Noah Fant. That's not his thing. That's not his repertoire. What I liked seeing, though, is what he did against the Panthers. Played in the box at times next to Benedict McKinney, next to Tay Crowder. He sacked Sam Darnold and scared the shit out of him. Happy Halloween, Sam Darnold. But that was the Jabrill we all know and love against the Panthers. Not against the Broncos, not against the Rams. Against the Panthers, we saw the real Jabrill. And that was the Jabrill we saw last season. I believe that last season was the best year of his career. Maybe 2019. But, actually, no, not 2019, 2018. But I happen to think 2020 was better because he played on a better defense. So, statistically, as I said, he really didn't do that good. He missed a game due to, I think it was a hamstring injury or something like that. Whatever, he missed the game. Now he's going to miss the rest of the season. 58% of the defensive snaps. I guess that showed it first that the defensive coaching staff really didn't like him. Because you saw week 1, he got this many snaps, and then it kept going down, and it was really bipolar, and I hate using that word, but it was up and down and up and down. It's like the stock market, if you will. But that showed me that this defense had lost confidence in Jabrill. And that wasn't necessarily the feeling I wanted, because I thought Jabrill was going to have another big year like he did last year. But let's get to the statistics before we talk about the contract stuff, and we'll talk about the signing they made before we go on to the other moves that they did make as well. So this year, to end off the year, because he's not coming back this year, 30 tackles, total of 2 tackles for a loss, 4 quarterback hits, 5 pressures, and 1 sack. He played in 6 games, started 5. And then you take a look at the coverage stats, which are putrid. And it's not all of Jabrill's fault. As I mentioned, the defensive coaching staff, mainly Patrick Graham, misused him. That's my personal opinion. He allowed 20 receptions on 23 targets. That's an 87% completion rating. 226 yards. He allowed 11.3 yards per completion, 9.8 yards per target, a touchdown, and 122.1 passer rating. Not really that good. So, where do the Giants go from here? Where do I think the Giants go from here? If it was me, I'm in the middle with Jabrill Peppers personally. I know his repertoire is not covering, and I know it's in the box. It's a tough position to be in. If you're a fan and you're deciding about it, if you're a content creator, but I don't think the Giants are re-signing him. I don't. I feel like this safety cog that the New York Giants have has really let us down. Logan Ryan had a big game the first game. Hasn't done anything since. Julian Love, meh, role player. Xavier McKinney had a good game against Carolina. Not much else. So, if a new GM comes in next year, they may say, we're not going to sign Jabrill Peppers. We're going to go ahead and redraft the safety group. Which is bad because, A, the New York Giants invested a second-round pick in McKinney. They signed Logan Ryan to this big contract extension, even though I'm pretty sure they can get out of it after this year. Julian Love was a fourth-round pick of Dave Gettleman's. And Jabrill Peppers, he was in that OBJ trade. So, and honestly, right now, it seems like both teams have lost the trade. And I know I've done multiple videos and podcast episodes dedicated to that trade, but right now it just looks lost, and we won't be able to tell for another year or two, really. But I don't see the Giants re-signing Jabrill Peppers, and it's unfortunate because I liked him as a player, I liked him as a leader, but football's a business. Football's a business. So they did sign a guy by the name of J.R. Reed, who was mainly on special teams the last 2 years for the Rams. He signed with the Jaguars in 2020 as an undrafted free agent out of Georgia. Then he was on the practice squad of the Rams last year and this year as well, alternating between the practice squad and the active roster. He played 7 games for LA in 2020. He made about 4 different tackles. And then in 2021, he played 1 game so far and really didn't do anything. It was just special teams work, no tackles at all, no stats recorded. He was a former teammate of Azeez Ojulari and Andrew Thomas and Tay Crowder as well. So add that into the Georgia Bulldog alumni New York Giants, at least for the last couple of years, because we've had those guys, Lorenzo Carter, you name it. I don't know how much this guy will play at first. I can't imagine much until after the bye week because this is a different system, though I believe they do run a 3-4 in LA with Raheem Morris. Could be a different system, the way they do things, right? So we'll see what happens. I do believe that Logan Ryan, Julian Love, and Xavier McKinney will get chunks of snaps. But as I said, if I didn't say already, after the bye week, I think J.R. Reed's going to get a lot of snaps. We'll see if he plays Jabrill Peppers' role. As I said, I don't know much about him. I haven't watched film on him. I haven't done all that stuff. I don't know if he's a box safety, deep safety. But just remember, this isn't a guy they wasted draft capital on. This is a guy they just signed from the Rams practice squad. So he's probably not going to have the biggest role this season. Though they also could have went the route of signing Adrian Colbert, who actually was just released by the Jets. He did play a little bit with the New York Giants last season. He did okay. He didn't do great. But, so that's basically my discussion on Jabrill Peppers. Some other moves the Giants made. They released Josh Jackson, David Sills, and Woodrow Hamilton. So for Josh Jackson, it's not really a good thing because the New York Giants traded Isaac Yiadom for him in August. Actually, when I was in Jersey at a water park for my birthday weekend. Just some context, weirdly enough. But Isaac Yiadom, not that he's been the greatest thing since popcorn for the Green Bay Packers, but he's been serviceable to them. I know Jair Alexander's been injured, so they've been rotating corners in and out. But Josh Jackson wasn't even active for a game for the New York Giants this season. We're in week 7, going into week 8, and he wasn't even active for the first 7 games, which seems like a waste. I guess it's good enough they didn't go out and waste the draft pick, but Isaac Yiadom was decent. probably better than Sam Beal and some of the other guys we would have had on the roster. Hopefully, Aaron Robinson, they can get him ramped up, as Joe Judge says, and he could be ready for next week against the Raiders, because we haven't heard anything. He's probably not going to be ready this week against the Kansas City Chiefs, which sucks, but that's football. It's a business, and it's real life. So, Josh Jackson has been active, and that was a trade bust. And I thought it was going to be a trade bust before, because the beat reporters were saying at the end of camp, oh, Josh Jackson, he's going to get cut. He didn't get cut, but he wasn't active for 7 games, so now it's a trade bust. But for those of you who want to look at Isaac Yiadom's stats in Green Bay, according to Pro Football Reference, he started 1 game for them this season, played in all 9 tackles. He allowed a total of 5 receptions on 6 targets, which is an 83.3 completion percentage, 80 yards, no touchdowns, 118.7 passer rating, going along with 16 yards allowed per completion, 13.3 allowed per target. Nothing much else there. He was also sent on 1 blitz. Now, David Sills, nothing much to talk about, really. He was elevated from the practice squad for the Panthers game, but the problem was that when he got his target on a slant route, he dropped it. And can't do that. And listen, the Giants won the game. I wanted Sills to make the roster originally in the summer. It didn't happen. So, once again, I'm going to say it 300 times. Football's a business. And David Sills was Corey Washington. He was Alonzo Russell. Or I should say, is the new coming of Corey Washington and Alonzo Russell. So we can't say, oh, David Sills is going to be this guy, that guy, or whatever. He's an undrafted free agent. It's a good story, but some guys are just left for practice squads. And that seems to be what Sills is right now. Maybe he becomes a 5 wide receiver for someone else. We'll see. But also, Woodrow Hamilton was cut. The Giants had him in 2018 towards the end of the season on the practice squad because of the rules with the practice squad. You keep guys that are veterans on the practice squad. He was on the practice squad again, but they released him, and we'll see what they do from there. But if you guys haven't already, like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications so you don't when live stream probably drops. Please get this channel to 300 subscribers, another milestone. About 62% of you guys are not subscribed, so please subscribe, and I appreciate you guys. Boys Big Apple will likely be on a Wednesday next week. I do want to watch the Chiefs game in peace, watch the Manning cast, rather than just the boring ESPN broadcast. And, more content along the way. Peace out, guys. See you later. Stay cool.